Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's Anna with you here, of course, and today we are on our lovely Levante beach in Benidorm once again to discuss the latest news and the situation update in Spain and in our sunny region. So first of all, with the cases, I want to say that for the last 24 hours we've been notified 14,004 new cases. Don't panic, it doesn't mean that the situation is getting worse. It's just because Catalonia, where Barcelona is, somehow they've missed out more than 9,350 cases in the last 5 months. So right now they by miracle found them and they've included them in yesterday's statistics. If you take these cases out, basically we would have 4,653 new cases left, which is the total of cases registered by yesterday, which is a normal number that we're used to see during these weeks. And the index is still dropping, and right now the average index in Spain for 14 days is situated in 110 cases per every 100,000 people. In general, the situation is very stable, it's very nice. In a lot of regions, cases are decreasing. Only 3 regions here in Spain still have the worst amount of index and the cases, which are La Rioja, Andalucía, sadly, and País Vasco. 10 regions in general in Spain have index below 100, which is just amazing. And in general, all the restrictions are slowly disappearing. To be honest, the only restriction that basically we have here in our region right now is wearing a mask and disinfection and keeping the distance. But apart from that, everything else is open. Bars and restaurants are open, the nightlife as well. People can go on the beach, they can move anytime during the day or the night. Everything is open and everything is fully functioning right now, which is just amazing news. So the only thing is the masks, basically. All the other stuff we already know when we do it, you know, like keeping the distance, but the only thing left is basically the mask. At least in our Valencian region, there are some regions in the north part of Spain that had the most cases lately. They didn't have bars and restaurants open until long. They had some restrictions for the in general bars and restaurants, like for the food industry, for the terraces, for the nightlife. So slowly they are getting there. But a lot of regions here already live like a normal life, new normality, so-called. But the World Health Organization is basically saying that we need to be very careful with what we do, like not us people in general, but as a country, because a lot of countries are basically eliminating restrictions. A lot of countries are starting the new normal lives, and it's quite dangerous because the vaccination is still not at the point where we can actually say that the majority of people are safe. Also, it doesn't mean that people will not get sick. The vaccination only prevents you basically from getting sick a lot, like from up until the point that the person might end in the ICU unit or even lose his life. So this is what the vaccination prevents you from, like from very, very hard symptoms. But it doesn't mean that the person cannot get infected anymore, which is what it is basically. So they remind that countries need to be very careful, because if the measures will be relaxed a lot, then this would sadly mean that by the end of summer we will get the increase in cases once again, and we will need to get back to the restrictions once again, which no one wants here. And in general, I think all over the world, people are just sick of all these restrictions. We just want to get back our normal lives. We want to be able to have a walk without thinking, oh my gosh, I need to put a mask on because that might be sick, this might be sick, I cannot come close to people. You know, like all these things, they affect you mentally as well, which is not very good for your mental health, to be honest. A lot of people are suffering from this, so it's not good. So hopefully they are wrong, and hopefully by the end of summer there's going to be a lot of people who will get immunized and will get the vaccine, or will have the disease and will survive the virus, because this means that they are also immunized naturally and the situation won't get worse. I want to ask you a question. What do you think about all this situation? Is there really a chance that by the end of summer, once the colder weather comes in place and people will get back to spend more time indoors than outdoors, do you really think that by then the situation might get worse? Or on contrary, you think that no, this was the worst that could have happened and from now on we could only get better? Leave me a comment please right here down below. It would be very interesting to make like a debate to see what all of you think about the recent situation and the future. The next news that I wanted to let you know about is that the consumers organization here, the syndicate that protects the consumers here in Spain, they are asking the government to basically lower the price for the electricity. As you know, from 1st of June, here in Spain, they've changed the prices for the electricity. What they did is they've put 3 ranges depending on the hours. So there is one range which is from 12 at night until 8 in the morning. This is when, of course, the electricity has the lowest price. It's cheapest of all, by much, I must say. And then there are some different areas where the electricity is the highest, which is, for example, from 10 till 2, and in the evening from 6 till 10, if I'm not wrong. The rest is medium price. And on weekend and on bank holidays as well in all Spain, the prices are of a low tariff, so like a lowest price possible. And they are basically asking that a lot of people who have specific plans for electricity, like night plan, day plan, 8 hours plan, when you can choose which hours you use electricity the most and get the lower price. By doing this, these people, they're not as much affected by the price change because they already had a specific plan. But those who didn't have any kind of a plan in place and were just paying as the time goes, these people will be affected quite a lot, and their monthly bill for the electricity will be a lot higher, depending when they'll put the washing machine, the dishes like machine, you know, like dryer, I don't know, any kind of electric things in house. But they are asking the government to lower the IVA, which is a Spanish tax, from 21% to 10%. Why? Because 21% IVA basically is when you are buying some kind of goods that are not necessary for your usual everyday life, something that's like extra, you know. And the 10% is used for a lot of different products like bread, dairies and stuff like that, something that you need to consume almost daily. This is why they want to lower the IVA to 10%, because they think that the electricity is something necessary for life in today's world and we cannot basically live without it. And also they want to eliminate the tax on the electricity, which basically is of about 5.11 more or less % of your monthly tax, which is also a lot. If the government will accept this, then for a month's bill, you will basically be able to lower your bill for about 14%, which is not much, but still it's something. Because right now, to be honest, electricity is very expensive here in Spain, and a lot of people in winter cannot turn the aircon on the heat mode because it is very expensive. If you use the air conditioning, either heat or cold mode here in our country, then in a month you will pay approximately 200 euros for your electricity bill, more or less, depending on the square meters of your house, maybe even more if it's a big property. This is what they want to do. They want people to be able to turn the aircon, especially now in summer, because it's very hot here, as you might know already. And the most interesting thing is when our president of the government, Pedro Sanchez, came into his into place, like into the role of a president of a government, he said that the most important thing that he wants to do is to lower the prices for gas, water and electricity, like for essential things, because he wants people to be living comfortably. He wants people not to be thinking of, oh my god, I cannot turn the heating on because it's going to be very expensive, I cannot pay the bill later on, oh, I cannot put the aircon on because I cannot cope with the final bill, I need to open just the windows or put some ventilator or something. He wanted people to live comfortably, which is very nice from his side, but he's been on the charge like for a few years already, if I'm not wrong, and nothing's changed, and actually prices are quite high, higher than they were. So a lot of the parties, they are basically reminding him what he promised, and this is why right now they are sending these letters to the government, basically saying that you promised this when you came, now it's time to act and it's time to do the things that you've promised. So hopefully this is going to be the case, and hopefully the prices for a light will be a lot cheaper, well, at least a little bit cheaper, okay, than they used to be. The next thing that I wanted to let you know about is that in our region we are slowly recovering the night bus service. Before, like starting from the 30th of October, more or less, here in our region, due to the mobility restrictions, we didn't have any kind of night transport, and a lot of night buses, especially in Alicante area, were just cancelled with no service available. And there was also one bus, which is bus number 16, which goes from Benidorm to Guadalest and Fonts del Algar, which are basically Algar waterfalls. These are two emblematic and very popular places here in our area. I have one video about the Guadalest town, which is like historical town, very, very nice with amazing views. I'm gonna put it for you here so that you could check it. And probably this summer we're gonna visit also Fonts del Algar so that you could see the amazing nature's creations and waterfalls that we have here in our region. Before the 30th of October, you could actually go to these places by bus number 16, which was running a few times a day. Not much, but you could actually somehow plan the trip so that you could take the bus both back and forth. But right now this bus is out of service once again, and while a lot of the buses start running right now, even at night time, especially in Alicante and here in Benidorm, the timetable will also be amplified in a few days, probably from July. It will all depend on the cases and on the restrictions, but it's quite probable they're gonna amplify the timetable by the time that more and more tourism will be in our region. So everything is open, the buses are starting to run normally, but this bus number 16 is still out of service. I was trying to find some more information because I know some people were asking in social media if it's possible to get to these places with a public bus, like public service, not by taking a taxi or a car. It was possible, but right now it's not. I couldn't find any kind of information on when this service will be reestablished once again. What I did find is that as for now, it's out of service with no more information at all. This is what's happening as for now in our region, but hopefully everything will be getting back to normal very soon. These were all the news for today, my darlings. And what about the Spanish weather? Well, the only thing that I can say is that it's very warm. It's very warm right now. It's 9:30 in the morning and it's already like 26 degrees outside. I have a lot of people here behind me that are enjoying the time on the beach. When we'll finish the video, I'm gonna make you like a short plan of all the people that are already here on the Levante beach. It's just amazing how many different colorful umbrellas we can find here, and there's a lot of people, I must say, and they are only coming and coming more and more to the beach. There's almost everything occupied on the beginning of the beach. Here there's slightly more space, but I think that people see that I'm filming. This is why they're not coming here. Which is good for me as well, because I can film with no interruptions. But anyway, this is going to be the average weather in all Spain. Only there's going to be some clouds and some rain on the north part of Spain. In the rest, it's going to be stable. During weekend, by the way, on Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be some rain in the north part of Spain coming down towards the center. And also there's going to be some more clouds in general in all Spain. Starting from Monday, the weather should be stable once again. And the temperatures are still as high as they were for now, with no major changes, but starting from next week, like Monday, Tuesday, they're going to keep rising once again. Right now in the north part of Spain, it's expected to have between 19 and 29 degrees. In the center, between 24 and 34. In the south part of Spain, between 24 and 36. And Mediterranean area will have between 27 and 32 degrees. Tomorrow, the temperatures will only be rising here in Mediterranean area, and we will reach 31, 32 degrees. So tomorrow is the perfect day to go to the beach and enjoy our Spanish sunshine and Mediterranean Sea. In Alicante area today we'll have approximately 29 degrees. In the Andalusia and the south part, Granada and Sevilla will have 37, 38. Balearic and Canarian Islands 31 degrees as well. As you can see, in the majority of parts of Spain it's still going to be 30 or even more. Madrid will have 35. It's going to be very warm there. Don't forget to hydrate yourselves, drink a lot of water if you're here in Spain or if you're planning to come. Cover yourself with some sun hats or something so that you wouldn't get sunburns or just won't overheat yourself, because it's very, very warm outside, extremely warm, even though it's still early in the morning. In other parts of Spain, for example, like in Murcia, there's going to be also 32 degrees, and in Valencia, which is slightly on the north part from here, will be 25. The water temperature is still 21 degrees. It's going to be rising up substantially, and by the end of this month, we should be reaching 23 degrees of water temperature in our region. These were all the news for today, my darlings. I hope you enjoyed watching them and it was interesting and fun for you. If it was, don't forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel if you still didn't do so. Click on the bell so that YouTube would notify you when the new video comes out. And I wish you the light end of the work week and the nice positive beginning of the weekend. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow with a new video from our lovely sunny Benidorm. Bye everyone.